welcome back to episode 3 of the Glasshouse podcast. Thanks everyone who tuned in for the last episode. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out.
Follow us on our socials, TikTok, Twitter.
True, I always forget to do that.
Oh no, was it TikTok, Twitter, Instagram?
Instagram, yeah, mainly YouTube, please. If you're watching, you've not subscribed, like, come on, help the boys out in it. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, leave a comment as well. Yeah, go on.
No, go on. I always forget to do it.
Yeah.
So it's a good job that you're here, to be honest.
No, it's like comment, and if there's something you want to talk us, want us to talk about anything, like it don't matter. So just let us know in the comments.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot to talk about today. However, though, like we did say last episode, what we're going to start doing at the start of every episode. How are we? How's your week been? Do
you want the truth?
Go on.
It hasn't been great, if I'm being honest. The past 2-3 weeks though, I haven't been feeling like myself. Like I have been. I just haven't been like feeling myself, and I've noticed about 2-3 weeks ago, I started to have panic attacks, and I never used to have them. I never used to have them at all, and then about 2-3 weeks ago, I started to get them, and I didn't say anything to anyone because, to be honest, I didn't know what was going on. And then about 5 days ago, I had a bad one. Like I had a really bad panic attack, and I spoke to Hannah about it. It was my lifestyle though, and just the way that I was eating, what I was doing to my body. It just wasn't.
I hear that.
It wasn't like good at all. So I've changed it up. I've changed a lot up actually, and for the past 3-4 days, I've actually been feeling a lot better than I have been in the last 3 weeks. So
good. So
yeah, I've never spoken, or speak about this. So,
but yeah, better now though.
I think I'm getting there. Like the thing is, like I'm just like sometimes you just get into like this funk, into this mood, and it's so hard to get yourself out of. But you know how to get yourself out of it, and you know what to do. I don't understand why I don't do what makes me better. I stick to doing the dumb shit. Like I don't stick to what makes me do better. So it's just like a mental game, and like I said, for the past 3-4 days I've been feeling a lot better. Like I'm just no panic attacks in the past like 3-4 days. So
well, I mean, like out of all you said then, obviously I'm sorry to hear that, but I think out of the two things you've said then, the most important things that you could possibly do, right? A, you've spoken about it, right? And then B, you've self-identified what the problem is, and I bet there's loads of people that can relate to exactly what you've just said, talking about is key, and then identifying what you can do to fix it, I think is super important. So
with me though, it's not so much like, because like I say it all the time, like I'm a very emotional guy. Like people who say like guys don't, like they can't show emotions and shit, like I think they're full of crap, like So I'll say what I want, and I'll express how I feel. So mine is not so much doing that. Mine is more of putting it into practice. Mine is more like, actually it's not even putting it into practice, like going into the real game. And sticking to that real game, you know what I mean, and being consistent with it. Like for this podcast, for instance, this is something like I've always wanted to do for the past 2-3 years. I've said it, like this is just something that I feel like I can express myself in, and I can, you know what I mean, like I think that me and you can really excel in doing this podcast. So for me not to be feeling like very joyous in these past 2 to 3 weeks, it's not like me. So
well, I mean, what's the things that you have been doing?
Cutting a lot of stuff out of my life, like literally cutting a lot of stuff out of my life that I know is no good for me. Like it's no good for me. Like I was like, like I started vaping at the age of 30. It's the dumbest thing I ever done in my entire life. I was, so basically like 2-3 weeks ago, I knew that every time like I was doing it, after a while I was getting heart palpitations, and I was like, like I can't control it. But I still kept on doing it. So why do I keep doing it?
Yeah.
You know. So I realized then I'm like what are you like? Literally, what are you trying to do to yourself?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so much caffeine as well. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, not being able to sleep as well. Like, you know, and just staying up long.
Yeah.
So I've literally cut it out. I can't do it anymore. Like, I literally couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, that's good, man. No, I'm proud of you, man.
So I cut it out. I can't do it.
No, well done, for real. Do you know what I find though as well is like I think I've only ever had one panic attack, right? And like it's probably like I feel like it's like mentally wise the worst feeling ever, but then your body you feel like you're dying.
Well, that's what I thought,
bro. If like
I thought I was having a heart attack.
It's such a weird feeling, like you genuinely feel like you're dying, and it does, like you said, it feels like you're having a heart attack. It's the worst feeling in the world, and I've only ever had one of them, and I pray to God that I'll never have another one again, and I hope you don't either. But what a horrible feeling, man.
Yeah, so like people say that when they have like is this sleep paralysis, they can't move type thing? Is it
paralysis?
Paralysis.
Yeah.
Paralysis.
Yeah.
Like they can't move. I felt like literally someone glued me to the wall. I'm against the wall like this.
Yeah.
What is going on?
That's crazy.
I'm like literally against the wall, and then I managed to run up the stairs.
Yeah.
Bust into the bedroom. I was like
yeah.
And then just breathe and settle down and things like that. But it's horrible, and I never want to feel it again.
Good, man. And I think you know when it does happen again, if it does happen again, which obviously I hope it doesn't, like you're beginning to take the steps of not getting to that stage again, man.
But I'm not being funny. Like, this is the heaviest I've been in my whole life, and it's horrible. It's such a horrible feeling that I don't want to keep up with it. Like, I'm feeling out of breath all the time. No, like that's not me. That's never been me. I've always been not healthy, but like the fit kid that would exercise and things like that.
You've always been that to me. You've always been the, football player. Like, I think from like the ages of, from up until you were like 20, 21, like the kid wouldn't wear a t-shirt. Like, you'd always be like, thinking you were the situation from Jersey Shore.
I know.
But yeah, man.
But I'd rather be that than this. I would genuinely rather be like that little cocky kid who actually thinks something about himself than feeling like you look like shit, you feel like shit. Like, do you know what I mean? So
I think there'd be a lot of people that can relate to the fact of not being happy, not being happy, with the way you look. Like, I'm currently not happy with the way I look, and the one thing that's massively motivating me now, and it's the first time I've actually been back to the gym this week, and it's been the first time in 3 to 4 weeks I've been back to the gym, and in between those 3 and 4 weeks I've been noticing that my sleeping has been terrible. Like, I feel less productive, like even just staying in the house, not even having to go to the gym. But one thing that's massively motivating me, and I think you've got a massive motivator right now, the thing that's motivating me is that when I meet my daughter or my son for the very first time, I don't want to have tits, I don't want to have a belly, I don't want to look like a slob. I want to be in the best version that I could possibly be for myself, and I want them to meet that. I want them to meet, like I'm in the best place mentally, physically, spiritually, all that stuff. That's one massive thing that's motivated me. And I slipped off for 3 or 4 weeks, and I was like, I gotta get back to it because I've been feeling more shit about myself. But I'm glad, you spoke up about it.
And this is the thing, I've said to you, if we do this podcast for the next 3, 4, 5, I want to do it forever. I want to do it till I'm 90. Yeah. But if we do this for the next 3 or 4 years, you will genuinely see me cry at least 4 times on this podcast because I'm not one of them people. Like, there's certain people in certain people in this world who people look up to, and it's like, you're a man, you shouldn't be able to show your emotion. I'm a human being, and every human being experiences every emotion. So, and that's me, and I'm not afraid to talk about it. Like, that's one thing though, I'm not afraid to talk about it, and I like talking to other people who go through situations like me. It helps a lot. It helps a lot to talk to someone or talk to people who go through your situations, because you can genuinely relate to each other.
Exactly. If you feel like you're not alone.
And that's the main part, is not feeling like you're alone in the situation. You know what I mean? Because when you're in that current, like, I know for a fact I'm never alone. I always have people I can talk to.
Yeah.
I just put myself in that corner to make me feel like I'm alone.
Yeah.
And it's just not a nice feeling. It's not a nice feeling. It's a good, honestly though, like you know, like, I got the best support around me.
Yeah.
You know, with Hannah and, you know, my two boys. Like, my life's fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. Like, I can't moan about anything. I do it to myself.
Yeah.
I sabotage myself.
Yeah.
Nobody does it to me. Nobody does. I do it to myself.
It's two things that, like, you need to be commended for. Is you're showing vulnerability, right? But then there's also that self-recognition as well, which a lot of people won't admit to and will shy away from. It's just admitting that, you know, I might be the problem.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I am, like, but, like, because if it was something else involved, I wouldn't be afraid to say that either. Because I know there's, like, certain people who might... There's just certain things that happen in life where they're like, oh, is the partner to blame?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Like, when you have someone who is totally supportive in your life over everything, you do it to yourself. Like, I do it to myself. I always have done, no. Like, I've always have done it to myself. So, yeah.
Good on you, man.
What was your week like, today?
Gotta respect it. Yeah, like, what have I done this week? On Monday, I gave blood.
What did you?
Yeah, I think, like, you know, physically, the most selfless thing you could possibly do is give blood, in my opinion, because you'll get it back and you save a lot of lives. When you do give blood, well, when I give blood anyway, I have a O+ blood type, which is basically 80 or something % of the world can have. But it's like, in my blood, I don't have the cold sore, like, herpes gene or whatever it is. Like,
what?
Yeah, because people will have that, like, you can catch it, can't you?
Wait, you've never had a cold sore?
No.
You've never had herpes?
Obviously not.
Oh.
But yeah, so basically my blood gets given to premature babies who need blood and stuff. So they make sure to tell me every single time I go about how important it is that I turn up. So I go as much as I can go. Whenever they give me the text, I'll go. Did that. It's easy. You know, I've done it, you know, loads of times. Did that Monday. And earlier today I went to the dentist. Worst thing ever. I hate going to the dentist. Do you know, I had my braces out when I was like 16, 17. Didn't go till last year back to the dentist. 10 years I didn't go to the dentist, right? And when I went last year, I swear to you, right, it was like they was chiseling out plaster or mortar on my plaque, bro. It was, and do you know what I felt? I felt so disappointed to myself, because I'd look at my teeth and be like, yeah, my teeth are fine. They're straight. They're healthy. I got no bad breath. My teeth ain't pearly white, but they're not fucking yellow. But yeah, and then they were like chipping away, and I can just feel all the bits just flying around and stuff, and literally it was terrible. But yeah, no, I've made sure to go now. I went to the dentist earlier today.
I have a fear of them.
I hate it.
No, I genuinely have a fear of going to... I hate the dentist.
Do you know what I think it is for me? It's the fact that I'm like, obviously I can just get up and leave, right? But like, when you're almost like laying down in that chair, you're like, I can't move, and they got some power tools going at your teeth. Such a vulnerable position to be in. Right.
So, for instance, you're in a vulnerable position like that, right? Like, so imagine, right, you got the worst toothache ever, right?
Yeah.
And do you know how they put the needles in your mouth to like numb your mouth and stuff like that, right? I'm gonna give you a situation, right? What if the dentist said, I can do something about this tooth?
Yeah.
I can put, you know, like I've just give you the injections and I can take the tooth out if you want.
Yeah.
But he just unzips his trousers, he just takes his balls out while your mouth's open. He goes, I'll just put them in now, but... And he goes, I can either put them in and like take your tooth out, or I can't do either. What are you doing? The toothache is the worst pain. That's why I hate it, because toothache is the worst pain ever.
He's gonna have to put his balls in my mouth, isn't he?
Off.
You know, I pray that never happens, but I'm fully getting a PG Tips tea bag straight in my mouth.
But like he stands on the chair over you.
He could do it however way he wants to do it. If you got like the worst, toothache's probably like the worst pain
Ever.
Like it's terrible.
No, it is.
But yeah, you fully have to just take the tatlies on the mouth and
Yeah,
get
100%.
for real.
I'm doing it for real.
But yeah, no, I went dentist. But other than that, like my week's been alright. You know, I've been like trying to keep myself busy. Obviously, I'm not working, right? And there's parts of my week where I feel guilty that I'm not being as productive as I should be doing. Tried streaming throughout the week. To be honest with you, like I was streaming Hogwarts. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. I really liked the game, but like the whole streaming aspect of it, there was like all like technical stuff like it was going wrong with the streaming, and I was just like, do you know what? It's not as like, I don't know. I just didn't really feel that engaged to it.
I'll tell you why though. This is why for me I think it was the wrong game to stream, because it's not clippy.
That's it. So
You need clippy.
this is what I'm gonna do. So like from now on, I'm gonna be like posting videos of doing stuff. So like it won't be like vlogs or anything, but it'll be like play a scary game or play like a really hard game or do some challenges like try not to laugh or try not to cringe or just something, right? Just something that I can be engaged with and I can look back and watch and be like, oh, I'm really happy with that. You know, I thought that was quite funny. Even if I can make 2 or 3 people watch the video and they can laugh at it, that's more than enough for me. That really is. So we want to do like a try not to laugh soon, right? But with consequences. We won't go into it too much, but with consequences. And I like that type of content because I think it's funny. And I do think, you know, people will like it other than, you know, just sitting there playing a game and just not really doing much. You know?
It's because like it's not so much you or it's not so much me.
Yeah.
It's more so much the attention span.
Yeah.
People can't sit there and watch.
Yeah.
Like a podcast, for instance. People don't usually sit there and watch the whole podcast at once.
Yeah.
You know, they go back to it. So I blame TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok has got a lot to answer to. That's why, you know, a lot of YouTube do YouTube Shorts, which is their version of TikTok.
Yeah.
Instagram's the same. Everyone likes that short, quick, powerful content.
Like honestly, like this, I do like TikTok.
Yeah.
But if you know Judge Vonderby,
No.
she's the black lady judge.
No.
Oh my god, she's amazing. And that's through TikTok. That woman is amazing.
Yeah.
She makes women pay child support. It's the best thing ever.
What a woman.
Yeah, it's the best thing ever.
But yeah, no, that's what's going to be coming on the channel. Other than that, though, I've had a pretty good week, to be fair. A lot of baby kicks and getting stronger. Baby's all good.
It's not long,
Mum's
no.
all good.
Not long.
Do you know, I was saying to Sunshine the other day, it's like I do, like, in an unselfish way, I just want the baby here. I just want to hear, right? But in the most selfish way possible, I just want to I don't know, they can wait a little bit longer because I want to, you know, enjoy the time that I have left.
Oh yeah.
But then also at the same time, I'm like, oh, I just wish it was here.
No, I get that a lot. But there's just no. You're constantly on edge though.
Yeah.
You'll be constantly on edge. So I would honestly, even though now you're constantly on edge because, you know, the baby's kicking and things like that. So you know, but no, you won't be able to. You won't sleep like your life is just gonna completely change.
Yeah,
it's gonna completely change. But for the better though.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. What I'm looking forward to is having somebody to care for more than myself, in the most honest way possible.
No, 100%.
You know, obviously, apart from son, you know, like.
No. I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
The kids always come first, right? Like,
always.
The kids always come first. Always. So, like, having somebody there, because I've never had a pet. Like, we don't have any pets or anything. Like, having somebody to care for and to provide for and, you know, all those other things. Like, I'm looking forward to that change in my life.
Don't get a pet, though, either.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I look at Denzel now, and Denzel's, like, just turned 10, my dog.
Yeah.
And he's looking old, and I'm like, oh, God.
It is. That's the sad thing with pets.
And he was my first baby.
Yeah.
He was my first baby, so I don't know.
It's the sad thing with pets, isn't it? It's always it's just a countdown, isn't it? Really, because unfortunately they can't.
Yeah, but that's like us all, though, isn't it? But you can't think like that. You just got to get on with it.
Yeah.
You just got to get on with it, and then hopefully you just ride the rainbow into the sky.
Yeah, I hear that. But yeah, one thing I was gonna say, like, actually no, there's two things, right, about being a father to be. Okay.
Yeah, go on.
One thing that I've noticed in myself is that I've definitely become more softer. Right. I cry at
The
things.
baby's not even here.
But I cry at things now. Like, I just feel more softer. You know, like, the countless times I've cried at The Last of Us, right? You
Okay.
haven't seen it yet, but when you do, or if anyone's out there that's watched it, honestly, the thing makes me cry. Like, 2 episodes I've watched, and I've been like, well, the one episode actually made me cry. The other one got me all welled up. And when I watched Avatar 2 as well, the ending of that, I cried. You haven't seen Avatar 2, have you?
It's just a thought of you crying at Avatar.
Basically, well, I was in the cinema and I was like trickling. I wasn't like crying, like, "Ugh," but like, you know, like that, like, you know, stern cry where you just like, you know, you bite your teeth and you're like squinting and you're like, "Ooh," and then it just comes out. But yeah, I cried at the end of Avatar 2 because it was about a father and his child, like, you know, and I just felt like, oh man.
Oh, don't, don't. Yeah,
You would probably weep at it.
Yeah,
like, that's
no.
like,
Yeah.
you'd be like, ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just like, I'm more like emotional towards things as well.
There's 2 things now that I want to say. But first of all, if I catch up with The Last of Us,
Yeah.
let's do a review next week.
Cool.
I'll catch up with it this week, and then we'll talk about the thing episode, because everyone's going on about it and it's doing amazing.
I honestly think, and I don't know if this is a crazy take, but hear me out. I think The Last of Us Season 1 so far is the greatest Season 1 of any TV show that I've ever seen. Right? Now, there's only one that comes into it.
2.
For me, there's only one, right? The one TV show that had the greatest Season 1 of all time was Prison Break.
Yeah, I was going to say Prison Break or Walking Dead. Prison Break or Walking Dead. Walking Dead Season 1 was incredible.
I won't say...
Oh my god.
The thing is with Walking Dead Season 1, it was like... They didn't have the budget yet. That made everything look more realistic and
Yeah, I get
what
what you
it
mean.
was
Yeah, I get what you
between
mean.
2 to 6, say for instance,
Yeah.
right? Great nonetheless, but Prison Break...
No, yeah, Prison Break is the best.
Insane Season 1,
No,
right?
it is the best.
But I think Last of Us, and I don't know what it is, because I think, like, if it slips into my genre, my favourite genre of any TV show and film is post-apocalyptic stuff.
Zombie shit, yeah.
Zombie stuff, but then it could also be, like, The Book of Eli, where it's, like, the world's, like, just dust and, like, everyone's got...
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
got, like,
that's
their
amazing.
tribes and stuff, and, you know, everyone's, like, a mercenary, like, kind of like Mad Max type.
I've never
like,
seen
stuff.
I was literally about to say that to you, Mad Max.
No, not for me.
not
But
for me.
like those post-apocalyptic, it could be about zombies, it could be about nukes or whatever. Like, I just love it.
What the Train to Busan, it is the greatest.
Unreal.
It is the greatest zombie film ever. It is. I don't care what it. Train to
I hear
Busan
that. No.
is incredible. Like, you
South
wanna,
Korean film?
well, Korean. They don't call it South Korean.
okay.
Korean. But yeah, obviously it's South Korea, because they're not going to make films in the north. No, they should.
Otherwise, if it was a film in North Korea, best believe the main character is Kim Jong-un and he's beaten everybody.
yeah.
He's just fought the entire country. and he's
Literally,
won.
it's like the dictator, Sacha Baron Cohen. That's literally Kim Jong. That's what one like that.
I can't remember actually.
That film is just wild. Anyway,
The greatest.
That's wild.
But yeah, no, that's my kind of stuff. But yeah, Last of Us, watch it.
I want to talk more about films when we go into later podcast, because that's something we're both very knowledgeable on. So
I think we probably got different taste and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But sorry, the second thing I wanted to say is like you said, you become more emotional.
Yeah.
Do you cry at things that are sad more, or do you cry at things that are happy more?
I think happy.
No, I'm the same. Like, I cry at things when, like, it's going good, not when it's like someone's just died.
Yeah. Do you know one thing that used to like make my eyes water for like happiness is like when I used to watch like all the Arsenal goals and stuff that meant stuff in like.
Oh, okay.
Do you know if I watched like
I've never, no.
No, but like, do you know if like I've watched an Arsenal game, I've just watched the full 90 minutes, right? As soon as it's uploaded on Sky Sports YouTube, I'm watching the highlights straight away, and I watched the highlights, and do you know if it was like, say like a comeback win like it was last week?
Yeah.
And like I just see the goals go in, like my eyes well up. I'm like so happy. And do you know what used to get me, so it doesn't anymore, but like way back when, like when I was a teenager or whatever, when I used to watch on YouTube, like when wrestlers that I really liked used to come back. I used to well up.
I think that's like that must be like some type of endorphin rush though.
It has to be.
It has to be, yeah. But no, mine's more like when like
I think I know.
And like
when Will Smith Pursuit of Happiness, when he gets the job at the end.
No, that is incredibly like, because
uplifting.
But that's different because that's with his son as well.
Yeah.
So that's like different. Like it's just like when you see like sometimes like you'll see like honestly, like the thing that like I actually bawled at was the last time. It was that kid in America's Got Talent. He was autistic.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, that got me.
Cody Lee.
Yeah.
Is his name Cody Lee?
Cody Lee. Yeah.
Cody
that
Lee.
Thing got me like it. Oh my god! Like that thing got me
like
because he just sat there, played it, sang, and you're just like, yeah.
I used to, do you know, after seeing that, I used to sing the first song he did. I can't remember what the first song he'd sung. Unreal voice. But yeah, but you're not like a regular sort of like talent show crier.
No, they're the worst.
They are the worst.
No, they're the worst.
Yeah, they are the worst.
No,
people who just like willingly cry at like X Factor and Britain's Got Talent and just like whenever somebody comes in and they got like a sad story, like they instantly cry when they do good.
Yeah. Or like when, like, have you heard anybody sing, like sing and like you've welled up?
Apart from that
no, yeah, but I'm talking about it. There was so much more of a story behind it.
No.
Like I'm talking about if Whitney Houston comes on in a bodyguard.
No.
That film's sad though.
Good film.
Oh, that's top 5.
Controversial.
No, I'm deadly serious.
Why don't we do it next week? We'll do it next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
But
I have to properly think about it because otherwise.
Homework, yeah.
I'll have to probably think about it.
Yeah. But yeah. No, but then the other thing about being an expected dad, right? Now, for me, women have their baby showers, right? And all their friends and relatives and whatnot, they get together. But where is it for men?
I'll tell you where the men is. Where I actually was on a crutch for mine when I went out. You wet the baby's head.
What? Oh!
We're definitely doing that. Put it that way.
Wet the baby's head. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're gonna go out and wet the baby's head.
But I feel like obviously baby showers is way more common than wetting the baby's head.
Hold on, I wonder if that's everywhere. I
Might be just a UK
think
thing.
so. It might even just be like, I don't know. Like I have no
Welsh
idea.
Thing?
Like I don't think it's a Welsh thing.
It's got to be a UK thing, I feel.
It's got to be. Like it's got to be because
This is going on TikTok so we can get some answers.
Yeah, definitely. No, but I remember like when the first time I went out and wet the baby's head, I was on a crutch. Like I literally played football. I had a big hole in my foot.
Well, that's a job for you then, surely. Because the women, like...
No.
The son don't get involved with the baby shower.
You don't set it up. You just organise a night out.
Yeah, but you got to do that then, surely. Because you're technically, like, the person who organises your baby shower would be your maid of honour at your wedding, right?
Godmother,
whatever, right? It's usually your best pal or whatever it is, right?
So yeah, I'll call you.
Yeah.
And 2 of our friends.
2. 2 of our...
we might get a few brothers out.
We have 2 mutual friends. No, we got more than 2 mutual friends, but yeah. But I have other friends.
I don't. I got 2 friends.
But yeah.
I want him to fight over that as well.
Yeah.
I want him to fight. Who was it? I want him to do that.
But yeah. But yeah, that's what I wanted to ask about being an expected dad.
Yeah, but you didn't know whether like there was something in it for you.
Exactly. But now that I'm going to be a father, this is why this podcast is great because we learn.
Yeah, 100%.
We learn. But
Do you want to just jump straight into the news?
The news.
The news.
I do like to talk about obviously the news and stuff and the podcast and what's been happening.
News.
What the
news?
News.
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 News. But yeah, because you know. It's nice to talk about those things as well, and it gets clicks at the end of the day. So, if you haven't followed the TikTok, make sure you do. But obviously, also subscribe as well. If you're watching this, you ain't subscribed. Like,
nah, you're rude.
Like, I'll batter your nan, straight up.
We know where the few nans live as well.
Exactly.
We've been around there.
Anyway, they call me the bingo jabber. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, the bingo winger.
But yeah, right. So obviously today of filming is Friday, right? Friday the what is it?
24th.
Whatever. But it is the first year of the Russian invasion in Ukraine, right? Let me get your thoughts on of just war in general, right? Like, do you think war is good? Because there's two sides to it, right? People think war is good, and then people think war is bad.
How can war be good?
What is it good for? No, you're supposed to go absolutely nothing.
I forgot.
But yeah, like, what is it good for? I mean,
war's not good for anything. You just wanted to make that joke. Come on.
No, but I suppose the only thing for me where I would see war as a good thing is if it was my country that was being invaded and my family are affected by it. You know, I would never consider joining the army. Respect to anybody that does, but it's not something I would do because I just wouldn't, right? But I think it's good if you're defending, right? I think if you are the antagonist, like the Russian soldiers are going into Ukraine, I don't think that's good. And I don't think that's good in any sense whatsoever, you know, invading somebody's home. You know, I don't think that's a good thing, but...
So, if the Ukrainian Prime Minister was out on the street slaughtering his people, that would be different. Then Russia could go in there and take his ass out. Like, do you know what I mean? But the fact is, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So, if your country is being... If your own government is killing you, and I mean just taking you out on the street, shooting you all, that's completely different.
Yeah.
You know, like go and invade them, make sure the rest of the people ain't affected by it.
Yeah.
But dropping bombs on a country where there's innocent kids and innocent families, like I don't understand how human beings can't be human beings. Like how they can't just look at another human and go, why would I want to hurt somebody?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
It doesn't.
It makes no sense to me.
I think I'm not exactly sure on the numbers, but there's been hundreds of thousands that have died so far already in year one, right? Hundreds of thousands. I think it was like 100,000 Russian soldiers that have died. You know, that to me is mental, because like that's 100,000 people that didn't have to die. You know,
I've seen many different videos about Putin.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying he knows he can't win this war.
Yeah.
And he's still sending his men out there to be slaughtered, to be killed.
Yeah.
That for me makes I just don't understand. Like, you're sending your own people, the people who you're supposed to protect, and you're sending them out to be killed. And Russia is not going to win that war.
Yeah.
And Ukraine is literally 1/3 or 1/4 of the size. No, actually, they're not a small country, but they're small. Like, Russia's twice the size of them. They have to be, right?
Like, Russia's,
Do you know what I mean?
Bigger
Like,
than that.
I thought Ukraine was small, but it's not small, is it, Ukraine?
Nah, I think Ukraine's bigger than Britain.
Yeah, Ukraine's quite big. So, but it still makes no sense how Russia could have all these people and they're still, like, they'll never win that war. They'll never win it.
Russia's biggest problem is, like, the biggest thing that they have is their country size. There's so many places that borders Russia, they will not be able to, if it was, you know, them versus the world or the NATO or whatever, There's no way they can cover all their borders.
Don't they border 3 different continents?
Yeah, they're in Asia.
Are they in Africa? No.
No.
No, I'm talking about like they could like link up.
Africa.
Do you know how big it is and how far it comes down? I don't know. Asia and Europe.
Wait. No. Between Russia and... There's Europe's between Russia and Africa.
No, what I'm trying to say to you is, do you know Turkey?
Yeah.
That's in Africa now.
You have took 2 L's in a row, but no, it's not. It's a European country, Mike.
No, I think they've changed it to... I'm pretty sure they've... Because... No, you might be right.
Is Turkey in the Euros?
No, they're not, are they?
I don't know, actually.
I think they're not anymore. That's what I mean.
They could be Asian, but yeah, no, but Russia...
Wait, Turkey's not in Africa?
No, Mike. It stops Egypt to Israel. That's where it stops.
Egypt
to the Middle East.
So now Egypt could easily be bordering like Russia. Or is it too far? Or is it too in Midlands?
You're way off here.
I don't.
Russia is in Europe, Asia, and I think a little bit of it is in North America as well.
North America, yeah.
Yeah, because I think Russia is connected maybe to like Greenland them ways. Like it's not so far from like Alaska and Canada and stuff. So it's close, it's very close.
So technically the Earth can't be flat.
No, for another time. But yeah, no, I think you know, shout out the Russians, they're doing their thing. You know, I hope, you know, things get resolved soon. I can't see that happening.
Nah, I think did you just shout out the Russians?
No. I said Russia. The Russians can do, like, you know, who am I to get involved? There's a lot of people. There's always 2 sides to a story, right? And I'm never going to choose one. So
that's very true. I'd never choose, yeah.
So, but I feel like it's kind of the same thing. Well, the next thing we'll talk about, right, is... Well, the NELK boys have gone to Israel.
Right. Do you want to say who the NELK boys are?
Yeah,
really?
so the NELK boys, they're like a massive YouTube group. They do pranks and stuff, vlogs and stuff. Very big, massive in the US. Got a massive European audience as well.
They have one of the biggest podcasts in the world.
They do have probably, I would say, second maybe.
They're first. Oh, second,
Joe Rogan's first, right?
But like the people who they've had on, like...
They've had Trump on, Elon Musk. Yeah, they've had massive people on their podcast.
Simpson. They've had loads of people on there.
And they've got a really good, you know, they're quite well known. But they've recently gone to Israel, and a lot of people have kicked off about it. And they have come out and explained that, well, we haven't taken sides. Yeah, we're just going to a country that's a country.
Oh, okay.
You know, so the way that I'm seeing it, right, which I do understand, well, what they've said is their reason for going to the country, right? However, I feel like what they're doing in the country, filming content, enjoying, you know, life out on the streets in Israel with obviously all the Israel residents and whatnot, and filming it for content and stuff, is something that I disagree with, right? Now,
you disagree with it?
I disagree with the fact that they're monetizing themselves out in Israel. Okay. It's like them going to... It's the way that I see it, right? And people will obviously see it way differently, but this is just my opinion. It's similar to them going to, I don't know, Ukraine and chilling with the Russians. Is the way that I see it, and monetizing it. But they could be... No, but kind of not,
Hold
right?
on, because you're genuinely confusing me. So... They've gone out to Israel, and they're chilling with the Israelis.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
So it starts from the conflict that's there already, right?
In Palestine.
Yeah. So Palestine's a state, right? It was occupied majority by Arabs, Muslim country, from like the 1940s and whatnot, because obviously the Holocaust was happening. A lot of Jews fled to Israel. As a lot of Israelis believe that was the birthplace of, you know, the Jews, and obviously where Jesus and such is from, right? So from that point then, they've just had beef. They've had beef since the 1940s between the Muslims and the Jews arguing over the country. And for me, and then over time, the Jews started to take more control and stuff, and a lot of the things that happen in Israel right now, they're killing Palestinians, they're men, women, children, killing them. They can't walk in certain areas of the streets. Like, it's bad out there, and they just absolutely just horrible to them, and they can't just allow people just to live peacefully among each other. So that's the side you see it from, and that's why you see a lot of people say free Palestine, because they have a slither of a country where they're allowed to be, but even that, they won't even give them that. It's like giving them Cardiff out of the whole of UK.
I understand what you mean. I genuinely understand what you mean, but what is the difference with them when in the last video they went to Russia?
Well, because it was the part of Russia they went, right? Although they would class themselves as Russians, they went to Dagestan.
Yeah.
So that's a state in itself, so it's kind of different. The only reason why I disagree with it is because I would go Israel, right? I would. If someone said to me, you as a free plane ticket, go to Israel, I would go to Israel because obviously it's mentioned a lot in the Bible. There's a lot of like historical places you can go visit, etc., etc. But I wouldn't like film it and be like trying to monetize off it and, you know, go with it. It's like, I don't know. I just feel, for me, it just feels like a little bit different. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
So if they went out there for a holiday and they didn't film anything, that would be okay?
I feel so, yeah. But I feel like if they're chilling and like, you know, having like on the Instagram stories are like out in the streets and like chilling with like, you know, the Jews that are out there and stuff and living it up. Meanwhile, if a Palestinian walked past them lot, they would all barrage and throw stuff at them, beat them and do whatnot. I don't feel like that's right.
No, I get it.
You know?
I understand.
I would go there, I would see all the stuff that I'd want to see, you know, and I'd bounce. That's the way that I would do it, but I feel like if they're trying to make money off that situation, that's what I don't like.
I mean, is the Wailing Wall in Israel?
Not sure.
Do you know what the Wailing Wall is?
No.
That's rude to even laugh about, but it's like where people go and cry at the wall and they put notes on the wall and they hold their wall and they cry. Have you heard of the Wailing Wall?
No,
that's crazy.
The Wailing Wall?
Yeah,
no.
Because they take you to places like where they say like Jesus and that died as well, don't they?
Yeah.
In Bethlehem.
Oh yeah, I've seen like his tomb, like they've blocked it all off and what.
Yeah, you can go there though and visit there or something.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's like that stuff that I would like to go out and see. You know, being, you know, that I'm Catholic or whatever. Like, you know, I believe in Jesus and, you know, I read the Bible and I pray and stuff. You know, no, I read the Bible.
No,
Doesn't surprise you.
Well, when I was last here, I saw the Bible downstairs and that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I was like, woo.
Well, was it like the red Bible that I got? Blue. Oh no, that's a different one. So I recently bought a Bible. It's a 1 year Bible, and you read like that section for that day of the year.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite easy to read and stuff. But yeah, that's what
I would read it.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I'd read it. Like I know people read it when they read the Bible. They read it for different.
Yeah.
You know, circumstances and things like that. But I would genuinely just like to read it. Like, I really would. I'm
like 50 pages in, the stories are good. I read, because I'm catching up, I read 2 days a day. And honestly, I'm reading it, like, the last thing I do before I go to sleep, and I just honestly start falling asleep. I was just like, yes, I was twitching like hell. Do you twitch in your sleep?
Yeah, but I also try to have sex a lot.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
The worst part is, though, is that the dog sleeps with us.
Oh. It's probably why you like sleeping with you. But no, like, I twitch in my sleep. Like, I literally turn into John Jones in my sleep. Like, I'm throwing flying knees, elbows and stuff. Like, left hooks.
I used to talk a lot.
I still do.
I used to talk a lot. I don't know if I still do, but I know for a fact I used to talk a lot.
Yeah, I remember, because when we used to share a room when we were younger.
Oh, yeah.
I used to talk a lot. There's one thing I hated sleeping with you in the same room.
Yeah, same room, I was going to say. Pause.
When we had bunk beds. And this fella would be shaking the dice.
You can't say that! You can't say that! I wasn't shoulder shaking at all.
and I'd be on the top bunk like, oh, stop it.
Yo, what is wrong with you?
But you did though. The worst thing. We have a 4-year age gap as well, and like, I didn't even know what you were doing, but now that I think back on it, I'm thinking, what was he doing? Shaking a dice. Anyway,
the pillow used to be nice though as well.
mad.
Yeah, just be one.
But yeah. Enough of that, you know, political war stuff. You know, it's I don't like to pick sides and whatnot. But I feel like, you know, when there's injustices going on, it's kind of blatantly obvious, right?
Do you want to go to Twitch and Kick?
Twitching, yeah.
Do you know anything about it at all?
So obviously Twitch is the streaming platform.
Yeah. So
Kick is
basically, so Kick's a new streaming platform.
okay.
So, like, now TV is irrelevant.
Yeah.
That thing you have in your house is irrelevant if you're not putting on YouTube, if you're not putting on Twitch or something like that.
Yeah.
There is no kids flicking through channels and watching Antique Roadshow or something like that. They are going on Twitch and watching their favourite streamers, or they're going on YouTube and watching their favourite people to watch. It's as simple as that. So, basically, there was a streamer, Trainwrecks, who was obviously gambling. So basically on Twitch there was a big gambling thing. Yeah, with stake.com. Stake is everywhere now. They're sponsoring UFC events, they're sponsoring everything at the moment. Drake, yeah, they're sponsoring everything. And what Stake was doing, they were giving these kids, because they're kids, they were giving these 19 and 20-year-olds £1 million a month to go and gamble and sponsor their website on stream.
Yeah.
And the majority of kids, the majority of people who go on to Twitch are kids.
Yeah.
They're under the age of 18, under the age of 16. So Twitch then comes out and they says, like, listen, from January 1st, 2023, they're banning gambling.
Yeah.
It might be June. For some reason I got June in my head instead.
Okay.
But it's June or January. And so all the people, so like all the kids, like 19, 20-year-olds, I'll just name Aiden Ross, there was Trainwrecks, XQC.
Yeah.
And these people are averaging 40,000.
40 to about 100k.
40,000 to 100,000 people.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And they're advertising these gambling websites and stuff like that. And I totally agree with Twitch when they said they're banning it, because there could be kids out there stealing their mum and dad's credit card. They could be stealing money to just try and gamble on a ridiculous website that they're never going to win on. And the problem is with these Twitch streamers, they never lose money.
No.
Because it's not their money they're gambling with.
Have you ever watched a slot stream?
Yeah.
So I watched one XQC did, right? He had about 120,000 people watching him play slots. So just online slots. And he was betting like hundreds of thousands of dollars like it was Monopoly money.
No, but that's what it is. It's Monopoly money.
Mad.
So they'll never lose. Like them people will never lose because they have a gambling sponsor behind them.
Exactly.
They'll never lose.
Exactly.
So a lot of Twitch streamers come out who don't do the gambling, and they said, like, listen, it needs to stop. This is ridiculous. So Twitch said they put a ban to it. So then all these like gambling streamers were fuming, they're fuming. So Trainwrecks, who is a huge streamer and also averages 60,000-70,000 you know what I mean, people in his streams, and he said that he's gonna start his own streaming platform. So not even 6 months later he comes out with a streaming platform called Kick. Lo and behold, stake.com is the one that's backing the website.
Fair.
So the gambling what's it called, firm, like a gambling company, is funding the website. So they're saying now they'll pay, I mean, these 21, 22-year-olds 10 million a year to go and stream on Kick. They are throwing money at these people. So what happened was, Twitch announced that the revenue split was 70-30. 70 to the creator, 30 to the company. But now they've gone to 50-50. That's horrendous.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's like after taxes and things like that.
Yeah.
Like Twitch are just they're making creators want to leave, and for me, Twitch is the best streaming website because they have rules.
Yeah.
They have rules in place. So what Kick has done now, they're saying to all these big creators that are averaging 100,000 views, 50, 60,000 views, they're saying, if you come over to our platform, we'll give you a 95 to 5% split. So you get 95, we get 5%. Okay, which sounds great.
Yeah.
You can watch live sports streams. You can watch movies. You can watch whatever you want on this platform website.
Okay.
Whatever you want on this platform website. They're saying, they basically come out and said, you cannot get banned.
Okay.
So, a very influential Twitch streamer, Adam Ross, he announced that he's going to Kick.
Okay.
So, his audience, they've got to be 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, they're rabid.
They've got to be that age. So the first thing, on his first stream over there, he wants to go and stream all these 14, 15-year-old kids. Like, this is what I mean about giving these kids, because Adam Ross is a kid himself, and you're giving these kids, these boys, because I can't stand him. The guy's a rat. And you're giving these people 10 million a year to go over and stream to 15 and 16-year-old people, mate. I'll never go onto that platform. I'll never go onto that website ever. It's absolutely disgusting. And then there was a Twitch partner. There was another guy, a Twitch partner. Now, if you're a Twitch partner, it means you got a backing.
Yeah.
It means you got a bit of a following. Yeah. You could have 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers. Mate, if you have 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers, you're earning some good money.
Yeah.
You're earning some real good money. His first stream over on Kick, this platform, he's getting a job.
Who Aiden is?
No, this other Twitch streamer.
Oh.
This other Twitch partner. I forgot his name. I wish I remembered his name. But he's just sat on stream, just getting his sucked by. So, and most of his followers are in the same age range of these 50. Like, what are you trying to prove? Like, honest to God, like, do you know now as a parent, this is why you have to monitor what your kids are watching and who your kids are looking up to, because I used to watch him. I used to think he was a very funny, cool kid. Now he's just turned into this weirdo. Like, do you know the problem is? He thinks he's like Andrew Tate, and he's not. But this is the thing, yeah. Now, I actually like Andrew Tate more than I like this kid, because this kid thinks that Andrew Tate would not go onto a streaming platform and stream to kids, but this idiot does.
Is it Sneeko? Is that who it is? It's not Sneeko.
No.
Oh, but
no, I know. But don't get me wrong. Kick is going to be the new platform. Speed's going over there.
Is he?
They're offering Kai mega money to go over there. Your Age Gaming is going over there. Do you know Bruce?
Yeah.
Well, he just got banned. He got banned from Twitch.
Okay.
So he's going over there. So that is going to be the new streaming platform website. But I'm telling you now, if you have kids, watch who they're watching on that website. I'm serious, because they were talking about having girls with it. Well, I mean, that's not too bad, obviously, if you're 14, 15.
What is this? Is this app got like an age, like you gotta verify?
No,
18?
you can just literally. What will end up happening is they'll have a box. Are you over the age of 18?
Yeah.
Every kid is going to click I'm over the age of 18, and that's it.
If you're watching this and you're a boy and you've never done that, you're lying. because everybody's always clicked yes.
I still do it now.
Even when you weren't 18 plus. But no, it's a good message, and I think it's what it is this day and age. Like, you really must need to monitor what your kids, like, the content that they digest, because there's some idiots out there like that do that sick stuff.
But also you might have thought that these people were good at the beginning.
Yeah.
But then they get a bit of money, they get a bit of fame, they know some, like Adam Ross, for instance.
Yeah.
He's like really good friends with LeBron James' son.
Yeah.
Like, I think Bronny gave him a top, didn't he, for his birthday from LeBron James, saying like happy birthday Aiden, like a Lakers top. Like, Bronny needs to separate himself now.
Yeah.
You cannot be friends with someone who is streaming. Oh, so this is hilarious. So there's a Twitter account called Jake Lucy, or Jake Lucky, Jake Lucy. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
And he reports Twitch news.
Okay.
Like, he's not keen.
Okay.
He's better. So he basically said that Adam Ross streams porn to underage audience. So Adam Ross then DMs this guy saying, keep yourself safe.
Adam Ross said that.
Yeah, keep yourself safe.
Like,
you know what that means though?
well, he's threatening him.
KYS though. I don't think we can say it on YouTube.
Oh, okay, KYS.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what it is supposed to stand for.
Could have a.
Can you imagine that rat? Can you imagine him coming anywhere and trying to like?
Well, he surrounds himself by, big bodyguards, doesn't he? So he's like untouchable in that
The
sense.
guy's a clown. Like, I can't stand him now.
But yeah, no. After hearing that, like, yeah, like, I didn't know all that happened, and I've lost a massive respect to any streamer that's gone over to that, because that is like foul. Like, what is this? Like, what is this world coming to? It's disgusting.
But now there's also another piece of news that's coming out saying that what he done could be a federal crime. So I hope he gets done for it. Good. I don't wish that upon anybody, but for someone to just, because they think they have the power to do that, leave me alone. Like, go prison. Yeah. Go and be best mates with,
Lock him up with R. Kelly.
That's what I mean. Lock him up with R. Kelly.
R. Kelly recently sentenced to 20 years more?
No.
I feel like he's got like 20 years for like each of his crimes. He ain't never coming out.
No, hell no, he's never coming out.
Good as well.
Oh yeah, 100% good.
Did you watch Surviving R. Kelly?
I didn't watch the last episode, I don't think.
Incredibly tough to watch, if I'm being honest with you. However, it does expose other people that don't really get spoken about that was also involved with him.
Yeah.
Did you know his song Mamacita with Jay-Z? Apparently, that was what a lot of people have been saying. That was recorded on Epstein's Island.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the girls in the music video...
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Look very young as well.
I heard that.
And he's just as dodgy as R. Kelly, if you want my answer. And I feel like in time, there will be plenty of surviving such and such documentaries that will be coming out, because people are coming for him.
Do you know my problem with that is though? Is that these people earn too much money.
Well, that's why I think anyone who is a billionaire
can get away with anything. Yeah.
Jay-Z's a billionaire, right?
Can get away with anything.
I don't think anything will ever come from him. There is facts out there if you want to look at them.
I'm gonna say this though. I don't know any facts, so I'm not gonna be like.
No, of course, But R. Kelly 20 years, good riddance.
But this is what I was gonna get into anyway. Like, I'm not being serious now. Can you not listen to his music anymore?
No.
Can you really not?
Whenever it comes on, I'm just like, nah, it's got to come off.
I'll still listen to his music.
Yeah, no.
Because I don't know R. Kelly the person. I know R. Kelly the musician who put out music.
But
there's a completely difference. It's like a character. There's a difference between a musician and a real person to me.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. What was his nickname?
Golden. I don't know.
No, the king of R&B.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, what is R&B songs? What are they usually? They're love songs.
Well, soulful.
But they're love songs.
Yeah, of course.
What is love to that guy? Not the right type. The type that gets you in prison. So for me, right, when you're listening to his songs and he's talking about love and he's talking about, you know, the down to, you know, the getting down in the sheets type stuff, right? You really got to think about who he's meaning that towards. And that for me is why I will never listen to his music again, because you listen to any of his songs, Ignition, Bump and Grind, whatever, like, listen to what he's saying and then think about all the damage and the disgusting things that guy has done. That's why you should never, ever listen to that sicko's music.
But there's something to that which I agree with you if you take it in that aspect. So, for instance, everything you read might not be the same way that person wrote it. So even though he could mean that, if I listen to that song, I don't think to myself, yo, like I want to go in like an underage person, or I want to like, I don't know. That song it means different to me than it might mean different to him, even though he sang it.
But I feel for me, when you know the origin and the place where something comes from, which is evil, it shouldn't be consumed, in my opinion, because you might listen to that song, right? Say you've put it on at a barbecue or a house party or whatever, and somebody's like, oh, I like that song. And then they'll be like, well, what's the name of that song? And they play that song, but they don't know where it's come from or where, you know, the origin of the place is. That's why it just needs to be wiped out of existence.
But this is what I mean. Like, in 20 years' time or something like that, that music will still be playing, yeah? Maybe. 100% that music is timeless, yeah? Like, it is timeless. Like, that music will always play. So when like a new kid discovers that, he is not going to give a rat's ass about what happened.
I think so, because I think, you know, the new generation, the new generation is woke, and it's like they know about all that stuff, right?
That'll pass though.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be played, in my opinion.
You genuinely don't think in 20 years' time there'll be an R.Kelly song playing?
Obviously there will be, but it won't be as consumed as it is now.
I don't think it's consumed now as much though.
Good, but then stuff like that.
Listen, I know
slowly died out.
I know the way you feel about it. Like, I genuinely do. But like, obviously everybody reacts differently to things, and for me, when I listen to that music, it just doesn't speak like, even right, if somebody writes a book and they mean it in the way that it's supposed to be meant, if you read it, you might take it a completely different way. Okay,
how about this? Would you watch Jim or Fix It? Wait, answer the question.
I've never watched Jim or Fix It in my life, though.
No, but would you watch it because he does nice things for kids and he gets them, you know, what they want, and they make him into a fireman and stuff, and it's nice and it's cute and stuff? Would you watch it? You wouldn't, would you? Because you know what that guy is and where this came from. So that for me is like, it is similar to that. You know, it's like going around, say, like an older person's house, and they're like, oh yeah, I used to watch this when I was a kid, and they're still watching it. You'd be like, what are you doing? Get that off. That's how it feels like to me. And I feel like if you look at it in that sense,
I think there's just, I think you know as well that music speaks different.
It doesn't. It's all the same to me, Mike. It's all the same.
To me, though, okay, to you, but to me, it's
what you're digesting.
It speaks differently. But like, I don't think because I listen to, like, let's keep it real, I don't listen to R. Kelly.
Oh yeah.
But if I was to listen to his song, I don't think that makes me a bad person.
No, I'm not saying that. I just think it's adding flame to the fire, just little by little.
Okay, so what about Michael Jackson?
But he's never found out that he did all those things, Mike. He's innocent. And that is what it is. He's innocent. I don't believe in innocent until proven guilty, right?
Okay.
But what I do believe is multiple testimonials from people who knew him that said he didn't do those things. Macaulay Culkin, massive childhood star, said loads of things about executives and other people. Same thing with that Corey Feldman.
Yeah, Cody Feldman.
Corey Feldman, dude, said the exact same thing about Michael Jackson, and he is multiple times called out multiple execs, actors, such and such, who did those things. And those two boys were childhood stars, had I don't know about Macaulay Culkin, but
No, he did as well.
horrific things. They've witnessed horrific things, being propositioned by all these people. Michael Jackson never did. They never said he did one of those
So
things.
where does his accusers come from?
The parents, I feel. The biggest mistake he ever did was...
Stay quiet.
No, he paid off somebody to just be like, oh my God, that's horrible. I don't want... That should never come out. Paid him off.
So you...
Snowball then, you know.
So you honestly, you're more of the type proven until guilty.
No, I think I'm not a person to judge, and I'll never decide, you know, the fate of somebody until, like, if it's proven in court, then so be it. That's what the courts think. That's what the law thinks. God can judge him on their day of judgment. That's the only thing I can say about that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna accuse anybody of anything unless it's personally happened to me.
And so now we've spoken about R. Kelly, we've spoken about Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
And so R. Kelly was guilty. Michael Jackson was not guilty.
Yeah.
So what about someone who there's evidence that he done wrong, but the charges got dropped?
So, like...
Mason Greenwood.
Well... But see, the thing is with that, though, is, right, that is clear. You watch on video, you can hear it, you know it's him.
Yeah.
Apparently he's back with a girl who he did those things
I think
to.
her father spoke. I think her father had a lot to do with it. I mean,
It's strange anyway, but it seems like she's dropped all the charges because she's back with him. You know, I doubt he's paid her off.
no.
Because they're clearly back together from what it looks like.
But he should never play football again.
Of course.
But do you know why? And this is for me why. Okay. Now, if you go to prison, if you've done a crime and you go to prison,
Yeah.
and you sit in prison for 10, 15 years, that is your punishment. When you come out of prison, I don't think you should be punished, because that is your punishment in prison. Like, people have second chances. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
He hasn't sat in that cell for however long.
Yeah.
Other people do because he's
Yeah.
famous and has money. So this is why he shouldn't play football. If he would have sat in prison, how old is he?
Oh, 21 now? 20?
If he would have sat in prison for 7 years, come out at
Yeah.
28 and then was like, oh, I'll play football again.
Yeah.
Oh, you've served your time. There's nothing more we can do.
Yeah.
You've done what you've done.
Yeah.
Like you said, like there's only one person that can judge you when you die. It's as simple as
Yeah.
that. If he would have done that, then it would have been like, okay.
No, I hear you. I do hear you.
But this is what I don't understand with like people who go to prison. They're not like, it's supposed to be a form of rehabilitation.
Yeah, of course, people get, you know...
No, but that's what it's meant for, isn't it?
Yeah.
But people like, also for me, it depends how sick you are. Like if you touch a kid, die. Like you know what I mean. Like that's me. Like if you do anything to like no, you like it's the same as Mason Greenwood's situation. Like I don't know. I just feel like if you save your time in prison, then you should be able to come home, and if you want to just...
If you're a second-time offender for doing the exact same thing...
Oh, no, you got to go.
Then
yeah, you got
to go, in my opinion. If you didn't rehabilitise after...
Yeah, prison.
Even after like a year or two.
No, yeah, you
depending on
go.
how small the crime is, right, then lock him away. But yeah, I feel like for him, it would be an absolute shame if any club hired him after it, in my opinion. I think
they will, though.
Man United...
He won't go Man United.
Will cower away from the fact of... And we'll use the excuse, well... If charges got dropped in court, he's okay to play.
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
But I know for a fact there will be a football team that will rehire him and will use that excuse.
He'll go to Italy. He'll go to Spain. He'll go to somewhere he'll go to somewhere else. I would have said America, but America's not going to let him in.
He has an unreal talent of football. He is a very, very, very good footballer, and for me, really doesn't deserve that. And I feel like wherever he goes, if he's been training in the background while he's been charged and stuff and whatnot, and he's still kept up with his football, like, what I really wouldn't like to happen is that he then, as he gets older, becomes one of the better footballers in the world.
He will not be able to get that chance. He won't be able to get that chance.
And that's why I don't want a team to give him that chance, because, Mike, money, like, winning and money talks in football, right? If there's a team out there that thinks, okay, he did all this, he was accused of it, didn't go to court, didn't get charged with it.
And look, he's back with her.
But then I can bring him in and he can win his trophies and stuff. It will happen, Mike. That's why one team gives him a chance, and that's all he'll need, Mike, because he's that good.
For his age at that time, the kid was unstoppable. Like, the kid is incredible. I don't care, though.
Exactly.
No, I don't care.
But the reason why I'm saying that and why I care is
it'll happen, I believe you.
When he gets that chance and he goes to another club and he absolutely smashes it, there'll be clubs wanting him and he'll become one of the biggest footballers.
He'll never come back to England and play.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't. I genuinely... Because, like I said, he did not sit down and he did not take his sentence. He didn't... Like, he didn't... be guilty of his crime. Yeah. He was never charged guilty. So for me, no.
I forgot what I was going to say, but like, I completely agree with you, and I honestly do think he'll likely do it again because he didn't get all that. He didn't.
No, I think the same thing. I think there will be a time further on down the line where he gives it a slap again, it comes back out, and so happens.
Yeah.
I agree. I genuinely agree.
I have been watching on Netflix, and it's similar to, what we're talking about, like where partners have gone back to their partner that's abused them, and they'll just keep going back, and in some cases, it eventually can lead to, the horrible partner killing the innocent one, so hopefully nothing happens to that girl, but it's sad what's happened,
and to be honest, she might just turn around and go ballistic one day.
Could do. She could do something wrong. I've defended herself,
and then she gotta pay the price for that. So
exactly. Speaking of which, though, big up Stretch D Waldron 15 for the comments of asking us to ask about Andrew Tate. Is he? Am I allowed to say his name? The Top G.
No. Yeah, you are.
Okay, I'll just refer to him as the Top G.
He's calling in the title.
The Top G. Is he innocent or is he guilty? So there's two ways of looking at it. Obviously, I'll never know, right? I'll never know if he's guilty or he's not guilty. You can look at the evidence. There can be a lot of false claims against him. They could be real claims, right? The way that I see it as, he was foreshadowing it. He was saying, the Matrix will come for me because I'm exposing them, and he classes the Matrix as basically the government, the top elites and whatnot, right? And he has said some things about them, like exposing them and stuff, and then being like, all weird and stuff, which, I've got my own opinion on. He said they'll eventually come for him. They said, what did he say? The first thing they'll do is cancel him, which they did. He got cancelled off everything. Wasn't allowed to come back on anything. The only thing he's allowed on is Twitter, I believe, because of Elon Musk. The second thing they said is that they'll try to jail him. This is how they work, which they've done right now. So he's been charged with human trafficking, I believe is what the charges are. I think there might be some R-word allegations against him as well. As he did have a webcam company where girls would, do their thing for men in front of a camera for some change. Where he had obviously a lot of women working for him. That's where they think they would have stemmed from. He doesn't have that anymore. I believe he might still have that. I'm not sure. But him and his brother, Tristan, both own it. And they said they were running a human trafficking ring through that. Which, on the face of it, you'd seem like, that would be somewhere you would do that, right? That's where you would find those type of women and do that type of stuff. But there's been multiple women that's worked for the Tate brothers that have came out and said it's all lies, it's all fabricated, none of that's ever happened. So the Romanian government police still has him locked up. He's talking about he's doing 500 push-ups a day and walking 10 kilometers a day or something. You know what he's like with his the way he, is. But yeah, I think that's what it is. And for me, if you want my opinion, if I'm being asked and I've got a gun to my head saying is he guilty or not guilty, I would say he's not guilty.
Okay, so my take now. So what would you... I'm going to say something to you right now, and you tell me if this is the definition of human trafficking. So this is a voice note that was on his website. He said that he meets women, tricks them to fall in love with him.
Yeah.
Makes them like care for him, and like they just deeply fall in love, and then he tricks them into doing webcam stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I seen the exact same thing that
I
you
don't. I wish I got the quote up, but that's
that's kind of what we said.
Yeah, but so how? So if he's tricking women into doing this, how is it not? How can he not be guilty of tricking women into doing it?
Is there a law against tricking somebody to do something for them? Depending on what the crime is. I mean, ultimately, the way that I see is everybody has a choice, right? Everybody has a choice, and there's two people that's involved in a transaction. He can, fly them on private jets and show them these supercars, and they fall in love with him. He's like, oh, do you mind, for my company, taking your clothes off and doing stuff for men on camera?
I wish I had that. I wish I had that quote, because I'm telling you now, there was way more to that thing that he said. It was kind of like he keeps them in the house then and makes sure they work 16 hours a day and stuff like this, and and then he tells them that he loves them when he really don't, and things like this. Like the guy's an actual creep. Like he's a creep. Yeah. Like the guy's a weirdo. He is a genuine weirdo. This is what I hate though, is that when he talks about other things, you can't help but agree.
Do you know what? That's exactly my opinion.
I don't like the guy. I honestly don't. I think what he says about the women and stuff like that, people can have their own opinions. If he thinks that he doesn't want a woman driving his airplane, he's entitled to that opinion.
Well,
no matter what you think about it. People are entitled to their own opinions no matter what. It's just when he said that thing about him tricking people and tricking women who are vulnerable, you don't know the state of these women, and that for me is just go away, you're weird, you're just a weird guy.
No, I completely agree with you. My opinion on him is that I agree what he says in terms of how a man should be sometimes, some of his opinions on being the protector and being not being an empowered, powerful man, being a man of substance, being a man of value, right? I agree with that stuff. When it comes to his opinions about women, I don't agree with, personally. But I feel like what you've just said, based on what he's apparently done, and if that's the only thing that he has, that the Romanian government has, I don't feel like that is going to be enough. In my opinion, that he's tricked women into falling in love with him so they get naked on camera for money, and that he's forced them to work 16-hour shifts. I don't believe it. I don't. I that's my opinion. I don't. But obviously, I'm always willing to change my mind on things. Their stuff becomes out there, but I'm not gonna judge or condemn the guy, because that's not my job.
No, but like you said, it is. You have to be proven guilty to be guilty. It's as simple as that.
In the
do you know what I mean? Yeah, you have to be. So until then, you just don't know
Yeah.
But when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, you're weird.
Yeah.
But then he talks to that something inside me that he knows where I'm stuck out. He knows where I am. Like, he knows like what I'm going through type situation. Like, he knows them type of things. Like, like men, like these days, like there's so much pressure. There's so much, like you have to be like this big macho man who. But like, he doesn't, like, I understand where he's coming from in that aspect, but some guys just might have low T. They might have low testosterone, so they can't be that type of guy. I understand though where he's coming from. Like, don't run away from yourself. Like, don't run away from things. Like, face them straight on. Like, you know what I mean? There's some things that man says that I'm like, oh my God. Like, if he had a better brain, he could have literally run the internet. He could have taken over anything he wanted to if he would have just shut his mouth about certain things.
He did for a couple of months, and then
but when he knew he was in trouble though, it's when he started to say these things about women, about like, you know, I wouldn't want a woman driving my car, like a woman can't drive me anywhere, and I'm like, go away. He's
probably one of the most interesting characters that's ever come out of this sort of like this era of social media and stuff. He is genuinely an intriguing character, but I think if he's innocent or he's not innocent, I just hope, regardless of how that pans out, he'll end up living the life of what he deserves. If he's innocent, I hope he gets out, lives an enjoyable life, sees out the rest of his days, job done. If he's guilty, and he's obviously he's not innocent, lock him up for.
No, I'm gonna be honest though. There is a lot more people that's worse. There's a lot more people worse than Andrew Tate that is constantly in your lives, that's on TV, that's running the country. There's a lot more people that's way more evil than Andrew Tate.
Well, let me ask you a question, and do you think this is a distraction from what the actual people that run the world are doing? Maybe, could be. Again though, like we have been saying, like the whole theme of like what we've been saying about all these people is that we can't judge them because there's only certain people that will know the truth. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm not one of those people.
But also my thing is this, like, don't believe everything like a newspaper says, or read everything that's on Twitter, or read everything that you see on your phone, because 90% of it is what they want you to believe. Yeah. It's what they want you to believe. Like, I am fully behind him when he says that. I'm fully behind him when he says they're gonna chuck stuff at your face that they want. Like, we've been such stuck in this zone, like, where they want you to be like an AI. Like, they want you to be like a robot. Like, you just do whatever they say and just do this. No. Yeah. No, I fully agree with him when he says like that. For like young boys and stuff like that wanna, you know what I mean, stick up for themselves and feel empowered and things like that. Like, I'm fully behind that. The women stuff, no, not for me.
But yeah, next thing I want to talk about, well, you know, something that's got a lot of people engaged on TikTok, was the thing that we talked about last week regarding Madeleine McCann. Now, the latest update that I've seen with Madeleine McCann was, so Kate and Jerry McCann has agreed to do a DNA test for Madeleine McCann, okay? The latest thing that's came out from this girl's side, I think her name's Julia, was that her parents or anyone a part of her family has not accepted to do a DNA test. So Kate and Jerry has agreed to do a DNA test, which is still pending, I believe. But this girl's family, Julia, who's claiming she thinks she might be Madeleine McCann, none of them are agreeing to do a DNA test with her. Which is...
But she can do a DNA test herself, can't she?
Yeah, but with who?
She's a grown-ass woman, isn't she?
No, but who? But there's no one in her family that's agreeing to match theirs with hers.
But she don't need that, does she? I thought she just needed...
No, she will need like a cousin or an uncle or a mum's or a dad.
No, I'm talking about she can take her own DNA test, and then Kate and Jedi can take it.
No, but that's what they are doing.
Oh, okay.
But because they want to avoid involving them, because
Oh, okay.
obviously, you know, people can have their thoughts in them, but at the end of the day, they could just be two parents that made a massive mistake and they still lost their daughter. And also, they've got grown kids now.
Yeah.
You know, they had twins, didn't they? They were babies. They're like, what? They're probably adults now? Possibly. 2007. So they'll be like teenagers. Like they'll be on TikTok. They'll be on Twitter and stuff. You know. So
it's crazy.
So yeah, but they want to like not involve them. But then they said that they will do a DNA test with her. But none of her family will do a DNA test with her.
That's wild.
And she's now linked in with this. She's a doctor. She's a medium. You know what a medium is?
Yeah.
Derek Akora.
Yeah. You
know. Someone's touching my ass. There's a ghost in here. He's touching my ass. Right?
That's what he said.
I don't know. Right, but she's not linked in with this person, and this lady, right? She's super famous. Never heard of her. She's got like 10 million followers on Instagram. She's been, you know, helped American detectives solve crimes and stuff, and she's just done a lot of stuff, right? She's now linked in with this lady, and this lady said 4 or 5 years ago, there was an article, she said, I believe Madeleine is alive and that she's safe and well in Germany or something. That was in 2019. And now, to this day, she's now linked up with this Julia girl. I think she's Madeleine McCann. And it's kind of looked like it's gone full circle, right?
Yeah, go on.
This account that this girl has, and I completely disagree with it, and there was a couple of comments on the TikTok that I posted, the highlight of last podcast. So many comments, and it was just literally full of Karens going,
she is and she's not. Yeah, she is. No, she's not. Yeah, she is.
And it was just literally just full of just women.
There's a few chads in there though as well.
Middle-aged women.
I seen a few chads as well.
Yeah, but like, give it a rest. Like, your opinion on if she is or she isn't valid in the grand scheme of things, is it? And to dig out this poor girl, right, who at the end of the day was abused when she was younger, regardless, and for them people just to be flooding her page with hate, saying you're not her, you're disgusting, you're this and that. Let's just be clear. There is a lot of similarities there. If you're just basing it based on just looks, then I would say she doesn't look like any of the parents. She doesn't, when she was younger, look like what Madeleine can look like. But understand, your face, your body features and everything can change a lot when you're older. Like, if anybody can say, I look exactly like myself when I was 3 years old.
No, I know what you mean.
You're off it. You're way off it. But there's a lot of similarities.
But does she look like his? Like, does she look like any of the twins? Does she look like? She has to look like someone.
There's no pictures of the twins. No.
She has to look like someone.
But I agree with that.
But even for Kate and Jerry to be like, okay, then we'll do a DNA test. Surely there must be something. There must be.
Yeah.
Also, if this girl is Madeleine McCann,
yeah,
how big of a story is this ever?
Yeah, insane. I really do hope that it is I really do hope it is but we'll soon find out. And
do you know what? I hope it is, and I hope she comes out and she just remembers a lot of things, and she exposes every one of them sick perverts, man, and just gets everyone done. Even though they probably won't, just get everybody done.
Well, apparently in a family portrait in a parent's house, there's a guy who used to abuse her when she was younger, looks a lot like a suspect early on in the Madeleine case. So
it's crazy.
There is a lot of similarities that's going on in this case. And I think for people to go on her page and abuse her day in, day out, get a life.
That is wild.
But her page, she does have 1.1 million followers on Instagram.
That's wild.
Within like the space of 2 weeks, but she said she's gonna delete her Instagram. She'll just vanish off the internet like no one remembered her if it's proven that she's not. So give her a break until she finds out.
Do you know this world though? It does feel like a simulation.
Yeah,
it feels like the world is a big game, and there's just like there's like missions and then there's side quests, and it feels like there's like a million side quests going on, the UFOs and all of this and all of that. It just feels like there's like a million different things going on, and you're just waiting for that one big event to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny. Turkey for me is just insane. Like they had another one, didn't they?
Yeah, another earthquake.
Like, I'm telling you, how can... Like, I don't want to say it. But there seems to be something fishy about it. I'm sorry. There just seems to be something really weird about that situation. There is. There's just something weird about that situation.
Do you know what? It's like... Somebody revisit all the stuff that he said in the previous podcast. I feel like I'm changing your opinions on stuff.
No. I'm being... I watched that video, right? And people was like... Because I think...
Flashing lights and stuff.
But that could be from electricity towers. That could have been from...
Could be. I think that's... Apparently that's like a thing that happens in earthquakes as well.
But it just seems wild. Like...
There's a lot of weird things that happen.
It just seems wild. And I just feel sorry for every single one of them people out there.
You should probably read the book of Revelations in the Bible. That's what you might... That's probably what you should.
Rest in peace to Christinatsu as well, man.
Yeah, rest in peace to him, man.
And rest in peace to everybody that passed out there.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I agree with you. You ever heard of the snow globe theory? It's basically like what you said. Like we could just be some aliens project in his science class. Like we could just be that.
Yeah, it's sad to think about that though, because it's more sad. Like just because I got kids.
Yeah, well, just, I mean, you know, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, for me, if you wanna like go out into the depths of the internet and like look at these theories and look at all this stuff and like let your head explode, then do it. Yeah. But when people turn into a nut off it, that's what I'm kind of like, all right, relax. But if you want to look at that stuff and if that stuff interests you, then do it. But if you don't and you hate thinking about it and talking about it, then that's absolutely fine. Just enjoy your life. Enjoy whatever time you have, because your life's not forever. Enjoy the time you have now. Enjoy the time you have with your partner, your kids, your family. Do the stuff that you like. Live your life as best as you can. And that's the only thing I can say.
Do you know what it is though as well? It's like these people like QAnon and things like that. Like they want to go down the rabbit hole of like, who's the celebrity pedo and who's this and who's that. I want to go down the route of, I want to go find Atlantis.
Yeah.
That stuff fascinates me so much. It's insane. Like just like the whole pyramids and that for me is just that is so much more fascinating and so much more. You're way more open-minded and enjoyable to it than sending yourself down a depressing route. I'm telling you, for anybody who. Don't do it. Like, just don't even go down that route unless you just really, unless you're not strong-minded. If you're a strong-minded person, then, but you know.
For me, like knowing that stuff about, you know, the creeps of the world and stuff is good because it helps you be more protective and aware of your surroundings and just knowing the fact that there's some bad people out there. But I agree. Like, there's much more enjoyable things that you can learn about and read about. But just be aware of your surroundings and listen to the signs around you.
Let's find Atlantis.
Yeah, let's find Atlantis. Did you know? It was from that podcast I listened to in Joe Rogan with those guys. Troy, you know Troy. You've seen the film Troy.
Yeah, of course.
Apparently, like Troy, that place with like Achilles and the Trojan horse and stuff. Apparently, for a long time as well, that was also considered like Atlantis. That was considered as like a myth. That was just never real. It was fairy tale.
Is it?
Yeah, and then they've proven it to be real. So hopefully in our lifetime, they can prove that Atlantis was real and how the bloody pyramids were made.
Do you want to know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Is that, you know how Julius Caesar is like, but like everybody knows Julius Caesar to be like a real person. Yeah, like there's no question about whether Julius Caesar was fake or not. He was around when Jesus. They were in that same time period.
Yeah.
That for me is the wildest thing ever. Like I think it was 30 years after.
I never knew that.
I honestly think Jesus died and then 30 years after there was Julius Caesar.
Was it?
That's wild.
That's crazy. Is that a fact?
That's a fact.
Mad. I didn't know that.
You'll have to Google it, but 30 years.
Oh, it's crazy.
What did I see that on? That actually might have been on a... No, it wasn't. It was on a podcast somewhere. But yeah, that's what I seen it on.
Oh, it's crazy.
But nobody questions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
No, man, that's crazy. But yeah, I think for like hot topics wise, I think that's about it. Usual section of the podcast, talk a bit about sports.
Yes.
So by the time this podcast comes out, Jake Paul and Tyson Fury would have already fought. Prediction?
Say it again.
Jake Paul and Tyson. Thank God for Jake Paul that he's not fighting Tyson.
Did you see that video when he's doing the interview and then Tyson Fury comes in and he goes,
he said though, did he have to go? He goes, I didn't know if he was going to come in and batter me.
He was 5 feet away from me and he put his arm out and nearly jammed my head off. He goes, I've never seen nothing like him before. I'm like, the guy's a monster.
But yeah, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. What's your predictions?
First of all, can we talk about the press conference?
No, what's your prediction first?
Tommy Fury's gonna win.
Do you think?
Yeah, Tommy Fury's gonna win.
For me, I think Jake Paul is gonna win.
No.
I'll go into why. And for me, it's always about, like you just said, talking about the press conference. And for me, it always comes down to the mental side of it, right? I think their ability is par. I honestly do. I think their ability is par. But I do think when it comes down to the mental side of it, Jake Paul's clear, right? One thing that really stood out to me in that press conference, Tommy, if you beat me, I will double your money. If you don't if I win, you get nothing. And he was like, and then Tommy was stalling. Tommy was, like babbling or whatever.
John Fury,
I will accept that.
We'll accept it. Do you know what though? But this is what you got to understand, right? Right, Tommy Fury at the end of the day is boxing for money.
Yeah.
So he is boxing for money. Whether he wins, whether he loses, before that bet, he was going away with money.
Yeah.
His dad shouldn't have accepted that bet.
It should never have accepted.
He should never have accepted that.
Because at the time when he went...
But I don't... But it's not because I don't believe in Tommy Fury. It's because he has a child. Like, he has a family. Like, he still needs to earn money. Like, he has to.
This has been Jake Paul's trick in every single fight that he's had. The only person that wasn't a sucker into that conversation was Anderson Silva. He was like, mate, what are you talking about? Just shut up and we'll fight.
Yeah.
That's all Tommy Fury should have said. He would have been better off just saying the truth and being like, hell no, I'm making sure, first things first, before I knock you spark out, he keeps on saying, I'm getting paid, mate. Yeah, that's the first thing that's happening. Yeah. I'm getting paid, and then I'm coming to knock you out. He didn't have to stall and then wait for his old man to turn around and say, yeah, we'll accept it. And then he's turned around to John going,
yeah.
Oh, we're going to accept it, are we? Oh, yeah, come on in, let's do it. And that's not me. Jake Paul clocked and he said, you didn't even accept it, your dad did. The metal side of it, I think Jake Paul's got it down.
Did you see Cal Froch?
What?
And Jake Paul?
No.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. Now Cal Froch is saying, because Jake Paul wanted him to fight Anderson Silva on the undercard. But Cal Froch's like, I'll kill him. Like, I'll do some serious damage to him.
That, like, they really do need to stop this MMA fighter versus boxer because it ain't looking pretty for the MMA fighter.
I don't like Cal Froch. Yeah. I think he's an absolute wanker, but the guy's a boxer.
He's an animal.
Like, he's an animal. So he would take some serious heads off. And then he said, if somehow you beat Tommy, he goes, we could have a chat. Can you imagine Jake Paul fighting Cal Froch?
R.I.P. Jake Paul. That's what I gotta say about him.
He
would really hurt him.
I want to see him fight Vidal, me.
Yeah, I would like to see Jake Paul versus Vidal. I think.
No, if he beats Tommy Fury, then I don't want him fighting any more boxers. Just stick to your MMA fighters and your actors.
No, I think that could. I know Vidal doesn't want it. I do watch Vidal's videos. Great fighter. But I do feel Vidal doesn't want to because he wants to disassociate himself with all that.
No, he does.
But I think if Jake Paul beats KSI, then I think a fight with Vidal would make sense.
He won't though. There's no way Jake Paul going to beat Tommy Fury, beat KSI. He's not good. The guy is not great.
He's a good boxer. He's not great. Great is world champions. You know, great is.
I want it like he'll change my mind on Sunday if he looks good. Like because Tommy Fury's been boxing. Tommy Fury will not lose. I don't care. He is not going to lose. But Jake Paul just has to look like a good boxer. That's all he does. He has to look like a good boxer. Because don't get me wrong, he's got good technique and all stuff like that. But mate, he hasn't fought a boxer yet. He hasn't fought one. So
I think it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna react to it. I'm probably gonna post it.
Have you seen the shape of Tommy Fury?
Yeah, he's always in incredible shape.
He looks bigger though.
He
looks massive.
He's got 80-inch long arms, Mike. Do you know how absurd that is?
For real. Ain't it like a monkey? Ain't it like everything like. They like hang down.
Bro, he could literally scratch his knee without bending.
That's insane.
Like his arms are incredibly long.
How tall is he?
He's probably like same height as Jake Paul.
Oh, I thought he was taller. He's not, is he?
Round about, I think he's 6 foot. I think.
Jeez.
But his arms are 80 inches long, right? Or something like that. It could be centimeters. I don't even know.
He should have been tipped then to be a better boxer than Tyson.
Do you know Big John? I wouldn't put it past me, right? Because Tyson Fury, I think, has the longest arms in boxing. It wouldn't surprise me if Big John was just pulling on their arms when they were little. I'm telling you, just yanking them. He's like, do you want to hold my hand? And he's just that wouldn't surprise me. But
oh mate, can you imagine him growing because he seems like a bit of a tough guy. Can you imagine him growing up?
Yeah, he was never a great boxer, but he was always down
pushing
to fight.
his kids though, just you know what I mean.
But yeah, Big John, what a character. But yeah, looking forward to the fight. See what happens.
So who you going with?
I'm gonna go with Jake Paul, and I want Jake Paul to win as well because I almost feel like if he does lose, it's a waste of a loss.
I don't.
To someone like Tommy Fury, I think like it's a waste of a loss because let's be honest, right? Tommy Fury is nobody without his missus and his brother. I just almost feel like it's a waste of. I would rather see Jake Paul lose to someone bigger, tougher, more famous, because I feel like everybody wants to see Jake Paul.
But this is my whole thing, right? Like, if he loses tomorrow, when he loses Sunday, you're still gonna want to see him fight KSI. You're still gonna want to see Jake Paul fight again. Like, Jake Paul is not gonna go his whole boxing career undefeated. It's ridiculous.
But it's always nice when there's like that extra something on the line, and like when he eventually fights KSI, if they both are undefeated at the end of the year, it's that who's gonna get their first loss. But makes it more exciting.
But for me, that's more of the case of who's the best influence boxer.
Yeah.
So that's for me is because I think that KSI's got a tough one against Fournier.
Yeah.
So I think that they can both take losses in their next matches.
I don't feel like it generates that much of an income and a buzz.
I do. I do. I really do. Because that's I want to see that fight more than anything.
Because there's no more like the loss. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's the same as if you were to watch like a Logan Paul boxing match. You've seen him lose. Like, no one's really interested in seeing you lose again. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but you want to see Logan Paul box again?
But like, I don't know. Not really. He's very good at wrestling.
You like UFC though, and you see how many of them people are undefeated that you watch? No one. Except for like Islam Makhachev and John Bones. Like people like John Bones.
Yeah, he disqualified.
Yeah.
No one's actually beat it.
No, Islam's not even undefeated, is he?
No.
That's what I mean. Like all these.
No, but it's like Khabib though. You watch a Khabib fight, and there's always the build up. Like, is this the person who takes the O? Like, But
do you know what?
Big build up
mate, we're gonna talk about this now. But do you know what's fucked you up?
What?
Is the Undertaker. Mate, that's what's fucked your brain up.
Yeah.
Going. How many did he go?
It was just like when Undertaker lost the WrestleMania, it was like I wasn't really bothered about ever seeing an Undertaker match again.
You are insane.
But you don't watch wrestling.
No,
but you don't watch it.
Okay, so if Undertaker would have lost 10 years before that, so for instance, when I was watching it, so if he would have lost against Shawn Michaels, yeah, I would have still liked to have seen him wrestle John Cena at WrestleMania.
No, but it would just be another match. like, yeah, you would watch it, but it would just be another match.
You like things on the line, you do, didn't you?
Of course, you need to be, for me to enjoy something even more, there needs to be something on the line. This is why I can't watch, like, sports competitively if there's not something on the line. Like, I can't, like, for me, I couldn't watch a, like, just like, you know what I'm trying to say?
So do you actually enjoy things?
Well, yeah,
like, no, and I'm like, you're not a casual viewer.
No, I'm not. I can't watch a boxing match. I can't watch any sport unless there's something on the line.
Did you watch United Barcelona?
No.
That's wild. See, because I just, because it's like a good football game. I thought I'm in to watch a good football game.
But I'm not like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I won't just watch, there's a good matchup in the boxing or the UFC or the wrestling. Like, I won't.
You're competitive though, you know that.
But I'd rather watch when there's something on the line. And yeah, we'll go into the wrestling anyway, because the big dog Justin commented best WrestleMania. I don't know if you have one, because obviously...
No, it's Undertaker Shawn Michaels, the first one, by far.
I think that was 25.
It's because that's the greatest match of all time.
Do you want me to tell you my... I was thinking, I think it was the other day actually, I was thinking, what is my favourite one?
Oh, you'd have to pull him up. Next time we're going to pull him up, because I need to pull him up.
Well, but yeah, my favourite one is WrestleMania 21. When they went to Hollywood for the first time. Now this year they're doing it again in LA. They're going to Hollywood, but WrestleMania 21, and I'll tell you why. Because this was the peak of when I loved wrestling. Now this was in 2005. I was 10.
Was it Rock John Cena?
No,
never mind.
Way off it.
Oh.
WrestleMania 21. I was 10 years old, 2005, and this is why I absolutely loved it. It was. I'll name you some matches in it.
Yeah, go on.
A banger of the card. First thing I mentioned, the first ever Money in the Bank match.
Oh, wait there. I'm trying to think who won it.
Ready for the worst answer ever.
It was not Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler weren't even in wrestling at that point.
Oh, never mind then. Go on.
It was.
He won it before though.
Yeah. Edge won it.
Oh yeah.
But you had Kane, Shelton Benjamin in there.
Shelton Benjamin.
Some big dogs in there, right? So that was the first ever of that. Another match on there. Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero.
Shut up.
Banger of a match. Another banger of a match. Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels.
Can't stand the both of them.
Those are like, you know, even that for like mid card.
Yeah.
Fights.
Yeah.
Great, right?
What were they ever doing fighting each other?
It was just like a battle of the technicals. That's what it was about. You've got actually this was a segment on there. Eugene was getting. Remember Eugene?
Loved him.
Right, he was getting picked on by Muhammad Hassan.
How offensive is that character?
Well, the two of them. You had Muhammad Hassan came down and was picking on Eugene.
When he meant to be a terrorist.
Yeah, or something like that.
Jeez.
But then Hulk Hogan came down.
Oh yeah, I remember. And he said,
and he battered, you know, the stereotypical Arab guy.
So bad.
Right.
Oh god.
So it was the worst part of the whole thing. Yeah. But then you also had John Cena versus JBL, where John Cena won his first ever WWE Championship.
Oh wow.
And then the main event, I feel like I'm forgetting something. But then the main event, you had Batista versus Triple H.
Can't remember.
So that was when Batista obviously disassociated with Evolution and took on Triple H.
Can't remember. Batista might be the most overrated wrestler in wrestling history.
See, for me growing up, he was my favourite wrestler.
But he might be the most overrated wrestler in history.
Technically, he never had, you know, banger of matches, but he was just...
A lump.
But he is probably the best actor that's ever came out of WWE.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of acting range.
Yeah.
But...
I thought John Cena's good.
John Cena's, yeah.
The Peacemaker.
Peacemaker's class. God. Love the Peacemaker.
He's good, John Cena.
But I mean, like, range-wise, like, Batista is, like, a better actor than all of them.
What? Have you seen that film with John Cena where he goes on vacation with that couple?
No.
You need to watch it. That's amazing.
He's good. No, John Cena's good. But yeah, that's my favourite WrestleMania. WrestleMania 21. Absolute banger. Do you know what funny part is about those like WrestleManias from then? They never did it in stadiums. It's like almost feels weird to see a WrestleMania that wasn't in a stadium. They did it in the Staples Center. that WrestleMania. 20,000 people. That was it. Now you're seeing WrestleMania was like 100k.
Yeah, it's crazy.
180k, like from whatever. But that's my favourite one. But let me know yours.
It looks better closed. Stadium looks better closed.
Yeah.
It genuinely does. But I mean, they're gonna quadruple their money.
Yeah, it's a spectacle. They want the fireworks in the air, the drones and stuff.
I was just thinking about a John Cena JBL match.
Yeah.
I remember that one where they had their hand tied into a corner and they had that rope. What was it called?
Like a strap match, isn't it?
They had the bell. Also, I can't remember.
It might be the bell.
The cowbell, something like that.
Cowbell match or something like that. Used to whack each other with the head with a cowbell.
That was so dumb and hilarious.
Oh, my favourite. How would I forget this? It was my favourite match of the card. Undertaker versus Randy Orton.
Oh, the Legend Killer.
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Trust
like
me,
that.
right? Now that I've read out that
That
card.
wasn't a casket match, was it?
No. That was. It's the best WrestleMania for me because that was the first like Randy Orton versus Undertaker match, and it was just a banger of a card.
Yeah, it was.
A banger of a card. But yeah. What was the next thing then?
Oh,
John Motson.
Yeah, rest in peace to John Motson, man. Like,
Yeah.
do you know, seriously, like, for me, he is the absolute GOAT of every commentator. I absolutely loved him. From FA Cup finals where Arsenal won in, to even FA Cup games, to match of the day, to World Cup matches, to Euro matches. That guy, man, like his voice, just everything about him, he was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I love John Motson.
The two things that I remember him from the most. First one, obviously, real football. David Beckham's free kick against Greece.
Oh, unbelievable.
And then the second thing, the voice of FIFA.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The voice of FIFA. That's where I mainly remember him. Him and Ali McCoist from FIFA up until like FIFA 06, I think it was. And then they came back in some of the later FIFAs. But him and Ali McCoist, I just remember them like...
What a short...
Like from FIFA 2004, mate. Like, come on. Class. But
yeah, John Motson, like some of the commentaries then with the I don't want to get it mixed up, so I'm not even gonna say, but like, so I remember like his voice on certain like goals. I think it might have been Steven Gerrard's in there.
Yeah, I think it was
against West Ham, and then just things like that. Like, he's just, rest in peace, man. He was a legend.
Do you know what is so impactful? Like it almost feels like whenever you watch a live event, you miss that commentary, especially when it's a good one as well. Like, commentary makes such a massive difference when it comes to sports. Like,
that's when I
can't speak.
No, but when the guy, it sounds like he smoked about 50 fags a day. I don't know his name, but like, for me, he was like the voice of that, and then he passed, and then they obviously got way mad at him. But no, commentators do make it. Commentators make it a lot. Like, Martin Tyler now is the most boring person I've ever seen.
The worst, and he's blatant. What is he? A Liverpool fan?
Who's that? Fan? So who's that young guy?
He's a Man United fan. Peter Drury.
Class.
Shakespeare.
Class.
Shakespeare, mate.
I swear to God, he might be the best. He might be the greatest.
He's
in years to come.
Do you know what my favourite? I think it was Peter Drury. Henry's return goal against Leeds.
Yeah.
He may be cast in bronze, but he's still able to produce golden moments like this. I'm just watching it going, ooh. Like, he does the best Arsenal commentating. Oh. And if you can, there is a...
Is there a compilation of it?
Yeah, there's compilations of it when he does Arsenal.
I need to watch it.
But, like, Lacazette scored against Wolves last season.
There was another one.
It's like, what it could mean.
Yeah.
That goal is so much money or whatever.
Yeah, you see it up to one of them.
Honestly, he is going. I think it was Fulham this season.
I was going to say one of the games this year.
Gabriel redeems himself. Yeah, the guy's unreal. But if you do want to watch him, you're looking at US channels. So if you've got your ways, I would highly recommend looking at
Is it ESPN US?
I have no idea, but there's a US channel he does it for. He does it for the UK, but the better they can get him on BT or Sky Sports, like, because the guy is unreal. He's quality.
Boring ass Martin Tyler lately. He used to be really good as well, Martin Tyler.
He's a Man United fan.
Have you seen like the Twitter guy, and he mimics his voice?
Yeah, They've scored again.
He scored again. Yeah, I was crying.
Fuming about it. But yeah, cool. Actually, we will be live next Saturday. So next Saturday for about 12 hours, we're going to be watching Man City versus Newcastle, Arsenal versus Bournemouth, and then we will be watching the YouTube boxing event. So if you want to come into the stream, comment, interact, do all that fun stuff. But even for this podcast, because we're going to wrap it up now, yeah?
Yeah, hell yeah. We've been going for ages.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment for us, please. If you want to comment any topics you want to talk about, like, we like doing that because it brings a bit of a difference into the conversation. Like it if you can. It's just one click. There's no hassle in doing it. It'd be super appreciated because whenever you comment and like on it, it helps the exposure of the podcast and stuff, so it's super helpful when you do. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do, please. Otherwise, like we said, you know.
But listen, by the way, like, even if 10 people watch it, we're not stopping. So
yeah, of course.
But you asked the question last week, what was your favourite colour? And I was like, mate, you're so sad. And then I seen people comment it.
Oh, it was only Sunshine I commented.
No, and Dan. Someone else did it as well.
Did they?
Yeah, but someone else did it as well.
Mine was periwinkle blue.
I want to know, favourite pizza topping.
Favourite pizza topping. Mine is...
There's only one right answer.
Meatball.
There might be two right answers.
Domino's meatball, eh?
Oh, God.
That's a banger, innit?
I love a meatball sub, pause, but meatball sub as well. Jesus Christ. But yeah.
What was yours? Pepperoni?
Oh, shit, yeah. Pepperoni or meatball.
Standard. Yeah, let us know your favourite pizza topping. But yeah, no, I appreciate everybody watching. Love you a long time. We've probably been going for nearly 2 hours. So if you stuck at this long and you comment your favourite pizza topping, God bless you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Love you.